it's me. Hey, it's you know who this is. I'm talking about the future of metal today. So last night was kind of I think it was kind of an eye opener, as I can say. Is that the right word? Eye opener? I don't know. But last night was kind of a big eye opener for me. I mean, so here's what happened last night, okay? I found out that there was this Black Saturday metal show last night at Mohawk Place, downtown Buffalo, okay? And so I got my check from my work, first check, and of course the mail has to come fucking late around here. So I didn't get my check until like 5:30 in the evening. So as soon as I got my check, I went down to Tops on Broadway, cashed a check, bought a bus pass for next month, and then I went down to the Mohawk Place, and it was only $5, you know. It's like not even a big deal, you know. But last night it was, what was the bands? Let's see what the lineup was. Obelisk or some bullshit like that. I don't know. Some band from like Erie, Pennsylvania. And their lead singer looks like Ryan Bruce Coffin. Or if you want to be cool about it, it's Ryan Bruce Finn. So, I don't know, their lead singer looks like Ryan Bruce Finn. You know what I'm saying? So, they were good. Just like heavy fucking death metal. And then the next band I believe was Mass Casualty. Okay. They were pretty good, local. And then the third band was, I gotta keep remembering the name of this, 9 Layers Deep. Okay, they were kind of like the dark horse of the lineup. It wasn't really even metal. It was like more like sludge. It was kind of metal, but it wasn't like death metal, you know. They had like a girl guitarist, and she was also the vocalist too. And she looked like Melissa Marsdale or whatever, but she sounded like fucking Courtney Love. Yeah, just imagine Melissa up there, you know, screaming into a microphone, playing guitar, and sounding like she's like Courtney Love. You know what I'm saying? And the other guitarist looked like he was like stoned off his ass the whole time, or at the bass. I don't know. Did that band just have 2 guitarists, no bass player? I don't know. And so they were actually pretty good. And The last band was Dark Apathy, which always good. It's Dennis Glinsky at his best. You know, every fucking band he's in is top notch because he was like the original. He kind of started a lot of death metal, to be honest, and he lives in the neighborhood too. So, I mean, he predated like Chris Barnes, I think. But the fact is that Chris Barnes ultimately won simply because Chris Barnes knew some pretty important people. So, but it's weird because Dennis has this really like evil death metal growl, but then when you speak to him like in person, he's like this soft-spoken nigga, you know what I'm saying? Really weird. But I had a good time, okay, and a lot of the people that I had trouble with in the past were there. Which is why I call this what do you call it, a wake up, you know what I'm saying? Because even though there were people there that I don't get along with, I was able to set it aside for a couple hours for the night or whatever. You don't have to talk to these people. You know, you hang out with your crowd, I'll hang out with my crowd, and that's the way it goes, you know? You're not going to like everybody that you come in contact with. Now, with that said, yes, Patrick Angel Pajan was there, okay? And also his wife was there. And, you know, what I did to his wife was kind of shitty. Now that I think about it, it was like, first of all, I don't know if she changed my shit over at the place, you know, my diagnosis or whatever. I don't know. You know, I know that I was never, ever diagnosed with anything retardation. It's always been Asperger's, you know. I think at one point it used to be like PDD-NOS, pervasive developmental disorder. No, wait, it was pervasive developmental disorder with psychosis not otherwise specified. Which I disagree on, because I don't have psychosis. Even though people think I do. Like, what is psychosis? That's when you're not in touch with reality, you know? But I think I am in touch with reality, you know? You know, there's one thing to be out of touch with reality and, like, say that, like, everything's out to get me. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of paranoia. And then there's, you know, being in reality and people actually out to get you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a difference between, like, my old counselor explained this too. She's like, it's not considered paranoia if it's actually happening, you know? It's like, Clint Carr actually fucking wrote that shit, you know? So it's not like I'm making it up. If I was making it up, then yeah, then it would be like paranoia or whatever. But and that's one of the reasons I don't talk to baby Mark anymore. Because he thinks I'm making up all kinds of shit for attention. No fucking proof. That's why I don't talk to him anymore. But like I said, Patrick Angel Pajan didn't bother me. His wife didn't bother me. You know? And let's keep it that way. Brian Hewlin wasn't there. So I didn't have to deal with him. But let's keep that the way it is, you know? I'm fine with that. No one has to be buddy-buddy with everyone else. But, so it gave me a wake-up call, and it made me realize that, you know, time... Was that saying? Time heals all wounds or something? And I'm like, this is true because, you know, sometimes you just gotta give it time. You know, if you're going to metal show, like what happened before, you know, with Clint and everything. If I went to a metal show a week later, people will still remember what happened. You know, I'm sure people still do remember, but it's like, who the fuck cares anymore? You know, what are you gonna have a grudge for like decades? You know, and last night. Made me realize that saying is true. Okay? And that it realizes that I'm not going to bother my parents anymore. Okay? I'm not going to keep calling them and asking them, well, are you ever going to forgive me? Are you going to... No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let them be for a while. See how that works. And then maybe a couple months or so, I'm gonna get in contact with him or something. But I just hope baloney arm. Baloney arm. Oh, that's the other thing. His cousin was at the show too. I didn't talk to him though. Angela Coco, but it's like I hope Baloney Arm like sees this and is like, yeah, you know, because time heals all, and you know, Baloney Arm's a Catholic and everything else. Jesus told him to forgive me. You know what I'm saying? So, who knows? Maybe I can make up with my rich uncle again. Who knows? It might happen. And I don't know. I mean, I'm saying it now, you know. But who actually knows what happens in the future? You know, I could have been banned forever, you know, from those shows, but I stuck it out and let time do the healing, and that was it. And it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, have a grudge for like years on end, you know? Who knows? Maybe in the future I can forgive BARF for what she did. Even though her and Brian were way worse than what Clint was doing. Okay? Look, let's see. Let's see here. Clint. Oh, what did he do? He just talked bullshit about me. And that was part of why I was banned from these places, because I fed into it, you know. I'm pretty sure if I were to just see, I'm looking back now and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure that if I just seen what he wrote and didn't respond or anything, and you know, like when shows come up or whatever at that place, just don't go to them and not say a word. I'm pretty sure that none of what would have happened, you know? So like, but because I kept saying, oh, I'm never going to your shows again because this, that, and the other thing, you know? That's why, you know, if I would have just kept my mouth shut, you know, I probably never would have been banned or arrested from Clint or whatever. Okay? Now, BARF, on the other hand, let's see. She had me fired from a job, which right there is worse than Clint. Okay? Clint might have had me arrested, okay? But Clint never fucked with my job, okay? Okay, Clint never actually fucked with my job situation. I'm still fucked up from it. You know, that was a good job at that casino. I'm sorry. And it got pissed away because some cunt with an ego trip and her faggot husband decided that their free drinks were more important than somebody having to pay their bills. The mark of a true alcoholic is when they can't get their fix, and then it affects everyone else. It affects everybody else. You can't get your fix, or you think you couldn't get your fix. So instead you just ruin everyone else's life, right? And don't give me that shit, well, you told us that we couldn't be here. Bullshit. What I told you was, you couldn't come here and bother me all the time. I'm not going to put up with it. I'm not going to put up with you coming into the casino and fucking harassing me at work. It's not going to happen. I suggested, it was a suggestion. There's 8 other different casinos in the fucking Buffalo, in Western New York, and Niagara region, okay, that you could have went to. Okay? Just like there are, how many other Targets are around? I don't even know. But I can name at least 4 other Targets in the Western New York area that you probably think that I should have went to instead of one on Niagara Falls Boulevard. Ow. But, make sure you're able to get your drink on every night. Hold on. It's not even like you fucking gamble there. So, Your fucking husband gambles, not you. Big goofy husband. Gambling his life savings away from his pizza boy job. You know, but it's okay because mommy and daddy are rich, and money's not an issue. The money you get from delivering pizzas for a living is just jerking off money to you, right? It's like because if you run out of money, all you have to do is go run to mommy and daddy with the trust fund and fucking ask them for a loan. And then you can have your big sweaty wife over there bitch about said loan. You know, well, she's over there drinking the loan. You know what I'm saying? They're actually asking for the money back. Oh my God. They're fucking scumbags. Yeah, well, that's what happens, you know. It's just this whole Bernie Sanders mentality where everyone thinks that they're just entitled to something. Okay. And frankly, that's why Trump won. Because everyone's just sick of this entitlement. You know, everybody's sick of the social justice warrior bullshit. Everybody's sick of fucking safe spaces. You know, you can't even go to fucking college anymore without having it be some liberal, you know, agenda indoctrination bullshit anymore. You know, you can't even go to fucking college anymore and have your mind challenged because, oh, that might offend me somehow, you know? It's like when jobs are doing nothing but accepting fucking participation trophies and as you know, resume builders. You know, and then people wonder, you know, why there's shitty jobs out there. Because think about it. Donald Trump didn't just come out of nowhere, okay? Hillary Clinton didn't just come out of nowhere, okay? Donald Trump, you know, you want to bitch about Donald Trump, well, look at your own actions, okay? when you have garbage going in, you're gonna get garbage going out, okay? Because Donald Trump didn't just appear out of nowhere, okay? Donald Trump is the product of this whole generation, okay? When you sit there and whine about safe spaces and everything else, normal people like me get fed up, okay? When people are walking down the street, okay, and they have to hear here's the example. When I'm sitting there in line for something and I have to hear some nigger bitch behind me running her mouth about, oh, these places around here don't hire me because I'm black. When I have to hear bullshit like that, and I turn around and I see that she's wearing leggings for pants that are ripped to shreds, okay, in the middle of November, okay, and she's bitching that, you white people don't hire us, okay? I'm a racist. I'm a fucking racist for that. You know what I'm saying? Because a white person didn't hire her. Okay? Think about that for a second. I don't want to fucking hear it. Okay? And that's why we can't sit there and deny it. You know, we can't sit there and say, well, I have nothing to do with this. Because then you'll be called a racist for it, you know? So, a guy comes along and says he's going to get rid of all this. Okay? And then, so what happens then? So we all go and vote for him. Because that's like our silent protest against what's going on. Okay? When I go on the news every single day and I'm looking at, oh, there's these protests here and protests there, because some thug got himself shot because he pulled a gun on or whatever on a police officer, or tried to reach for the cop's gun or something. You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are many instances where it's justified, okay? But a lot of them aren't, okay? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of instances where, yes, a police officer shoots an unarmed black teenager or whatever. But then there are as much or more instances of where they're pulling guns on fucking cops, they're pulling knives on cops, they're fucking trying to reach for the gun on the cop's waist. That's a good way to get yourself killed. So instead, we're gonna sit there and burn down the city because these cops decided that they're gonna kill, an unarmed black teenager. You know what I'm saying? Black Lives Matter. Black Lives mattered so much, then and they should be going out and protesting because 94% of blacks that are shot by other blacks, okay? You ever heard of black on black crime? Why aren't they saying those lives matter? See, I have a slogan here. It's Black Lives Matter only when blue lives murder. Okay, now think about that. Okay? They're not going to go and protest, some fucking gang fucking shooting, okay? No, they're gonna go protest and they're gonna burn down cities and whatnot. Yeah, nothing says black lives really matter than going around looting and rioting and burning down black homes and black businesses. No, it doesn't say it more than that in black neighborhoods. Because I don't know Missouri too well, but from what I understand, Ferguson is a big black community, I guess. It's in ruins now, And some of these black people go and they just want to be able to go home to their families at the end of the day. They're running some cash registers or whatever, barber shop, whatever the hell they do. I applaud them for being decent people. They want to go home at the end of the day with their families, kids, wife, whatever. And they don't want anything to do with these thug blacks, And they certainly don't want their fucking businesses burnt to the ground because of that, And that's why I say, but the people have spoken, and this is another thing, the liberals, BARF, Brian, they were all bitching about how, during I think it was like the last debate, Donald Trump said something like, I'll keep you in suspense about if I accept the victory, like if Hillary wins, I'll keep you in suspense about the victory or something if he accepts it. Okay? And yet these liberals can't accept Donald Trump's victory. Okay? And they were bitching about what he said. Then you got that old hippie bitch, Jill Stein, who wants a recount of the votes, which, okay, is fine, but she only wants the recounts in the states that Trump won. Okay? No, if you want a fucking recount, you recount all the fucking votes, okay? Not just the ones that Trump won, okay? And I'm not saying, I don't even support Trump, but I understand why he won. Okay? and yes, Brian, you should move to fucking Canada. You're gonna make this better? How are you gonna make this better? You know? Now, I'm not saying I'm a Trump supporter. I really am not a Trump supporter. I didn't vote for him. But I accept his victory. It's like I'm like, okay, he won, you know? I'm not gonna bitch about it. Like I voted for Gary Johnson, you know? So you can't blame me that Trump won. Because I didn't even vote for the asshole, you know? People think I'm like a big Republican, and I'm really not. But I'm not a liberal either. I'm not a Democrat either. Like I just vote for who I like. You know, and I don't even give a crap what little letter is next to their name, you know? That little letter can be a fucking F for all I know, you know? If I like what they're for, I'll vote for them. You know? You know? And people say that when I do that, I throw away my vote. What does that even mean? Like if you're third party, you're throwing away your vote? Like what does that even mean? Because I'm voting for somebody that can't win? But with that kind of attitude, that's how people don't win, you know? That's how you keep it a two-party system. You know? The way I think, it's a two-party system, but I'm like a six-party mind, you know what I'm saying? It's like I look at everybody, I don't just look at Trump and Hillary. Like to me, this wasn't a Trump and Hillary election. This was a Trump-Hillary fucking Jill Stein and fucking Gary Johnson election, you know? And whoever else was running, I don't even know. But, you know, people sit there and say, well, you're throwing away your vote for voting for this guy. It's like, I don't get it. Like, if you're going to say I'm throwing away a vote, like, why, like, that's how we don't get new people in office. You know what I'm saying? This is why we don't get good people in office. Because everyone's like, oh, you're gonna vote for this guy or that. You're throwing your vote away. Like, what? Like, people keep saying that, and I was like, I don't get it. You know, it's like, even if like, let's say you got like an election that had Trump, Hillary, and like Gary Johnson as third party, you know, and you know, Gary Johnson just blows out both of those away, gets like a popular vote, and with the popular vote in certain states gets all the electoral votes he needs. That would be great. And then, you know, we can have our first third party president. Why is that a bad thing? But when people sit there and say, well, throwing away your vote, you know, why? Because he doesn't get as much airtime as the other two? You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Yeah, that's probably why no one looked at it as one before. Because people are stupid, that's why. Like, the way I see it, saying Democrat, Republican, all that does is make you pick a certain side or the other. It makes you vote for a Democrat or a Republican. And usually the people that vote for one of those just votes all across. When what they should be doing is looking at each person and be like, okay, you know, if we got rid of that shit, you know, people, it would force people to actually do research on their own. Instead of just being, oh look, Democrat, he's good. No, he's bad. Republican's bad. You know, for third party, I don't know about him, so I'm not even going to bother with him. Could have done 2 minutes of research and known everything about him, you know. And it's like, we're going to get through this, okay? We're going to get through these 4 to 8 years, you know. I survived Obama, okay? You're going to survive Trump, okay? I don't think he's going to be as bad as people say. You know, if you think about it, anything you say is anti-gay, he's whatever. Everything you see about him, he's anti-this and anti-gay, and, you know, look at where the sources come from. It's always going to say pink news or queer tea or whatever. You're never gonna see actual news sites like the New York Times or something like that say that he's anti-gay. Okay? And just look at like his speeches too. It's like he said on numerous occasions that he's not anti-gay. And he has not made any kind of anti-gay statements. What has he actually said? He said, yeah, Caitlyn Jenner can use whatever bathroom she wants. Why is that bad? Or he said something like, the gays like me or something. Why is that bad? Why is that bad again? He is not going to say, we're going to repeal marriage, gay marriage. You know, he never said that. Maybe Pence said that. But then again, that's Pence. That's not Trump. We didn't vote Pence in. You know what I'm saying? We voted Trump in. And by saying it's always this fucking mental gymnastics bullshit that you can kind of say that Trump is anti-gay. Oh, because he picked Pence and Pence is anti-gay. Oh. So now we're judging people on other people's actions. You know, sometimes, just think about that. Sometimes it's not all about the gay stuff. You know, maybe Pence has a good vision for the economy, and that's why he picked him. No one can be perfect, okay? Nobody can be perfect. That's all I gotta say, you know? It's like, when certain people make, you know, them the focus of an entire election, that's selfish. You know, that's kind of selfish. You know, it's not all about the gay rights. It's not all about black lives or whatever. Sometimes it's all about like the economy or something. You know, we're never going to have a president, I don't think we are, that's going to be 100% for gays, 100% for black rights or minority. I'm just going to say minority, and that'll encompass gays, lesbians, blacks, Latinos, whatever. We're not going to ever have that where it's all of it. And then he also wants a good economy. You know, I guess I'm sure all presidents want a good economy, but it's not going to be it's never going to be like one of those things where you're going to have the perfect president, because we haven't had a perfect president in we've never had a perfect president. There's never been a president that I actually enjoyed having a president, you know? And that's the problem around here. We are never going to have that perfect man in the White House. Or perfect woman. You know? Or perfect transgender person or whatever. We're never going to have it. It's either going to be they're all going to either be for something you're not going to like, you know. And it has to do with that America's big, you know. There's never going to be that one person that's going to be. You can't please everyone, okay? So let's try to please as many people as we could, you know. There's more straight people than gay people. That's a fact. There's more regular people than transgender people. It's a fact. Okay? So, you know, you're never going to have the perfect president. Not you know, not for a while. And especially since I forget there was some kind of term that they used where it's pretty much like vote for the lesser evil or something like that. And that's how they're gonna make you vote. You know, but there's actually a term for the whole process, because it's actually that voting for the lesser evil thing is actually a way to keep having shitty presidents every year. You know? And let's face it, BARF. Let's face it, Brian. Most people wanted Trump in, okay? That's why he was elected, okay? Now, the only reason Hillary Clinton won the popular vote was because she was committing voter fraud, okay? She was letting illegal immigrants vote. Like, yeah, let's just give them all fucking voting privileges forever now. Just so that we can get so we can pretty much win. You know, and what else? So if you take away, if you count up all the votes and then subtract the amount of illegal immigrants that voted, Trump would be ahead. Okay? Now, Hillary Clinton also, they also allowed, for this election, they allowed, in some states, they allowed people with felonies to vote because they knew they were going to vote Democrat, That would be funny if they allowed all these illegal immigrants to vote. And they all voted for Trump anyway. You see, this is a thing that I've been seeing. This is a thing that I noticed here. Now hear me out. Back in like the slave days, it was the Democrats it was the Democrats that were all for slaves, And as time went on, the Republicans freed the slaves. Lincoln, okay? We can argue that Lincoln didn't do it because it was the right thing. He did it to punish the South, okay? Because they relied on the slave labor. Okay? Now, for a while there, Democrats didn't really have any power. There wasn't a Democrat president for a while. And then, I think it was like, the next one was like FDR or something. But he put in a system of, he actually started the whole welfare system, FDR. And it turned out that a lot of blacks liked that because back then they couldn't really get jobs, So like up until like the 60s, 70s and whatnot, they couldn't get jobs, so they had to rely on welfare. Okay? And some of them got lazy. Okay? Some of them got lazy, some of them didn't. Some of them grew up and became the president. Okay? But I'm just saying, it's like at some point, the Democrats that, at some point the Democrats in the past, like they switched parties. Well, I mean, like back then, what was the Republican Party now was more in tune with what the Democrat is today, and vice versa. But at some point they switched their policies. Okay, like they just switched the names or something, Like the Klan used to be all Democrat. But the thing is that the Democrats used to own the slaves. Well, they kind of still do. Except for instead of making them work, they just make them vote for make them vote for you. You know. Oh yeah. We'll give you welfare and everything else. Just vote for us, you know. That's how that works. In some ways, they're more racist than what we call the Republican. They're more racist. You never heard, I don't remember, but we never heard George W. Bush say anything racist against blacks, have we? I don't remember. Did he? No. But, you know, the way I see it, it's like Democrats are like, oh, you were born into this whole thing, you know, poor pity you, you're never going to get out of this. And Republicans are more like, yeah, anybody can do what they want. You know, just work fucking hard, you know. And the Republicans are just like, or the Democrats are just like, poor pity you, you can't do it without our help, you know. What's more racist? You know. They're giving, you know, them hope. You know. It's like what? Obama, black president. Obama sits there and is like, there's no jobs anymore because Obamacare has to take over. Which, it's fucking stupid. I don't even get it. Like, how is that supposed to be affordable? It's actually called the Affordable Care Act, Health Care Act or something. But how's it affordable? How would it be affordable? By forcing people to get health insurance? I don't get it. Like, I don't really get it. Like, somebody needs to explain that to me. How is forcing somebody to get something, you know, affordable? You know? Again, take away our choice, you know? You know, we could just have universal health care, like 99% of the other countries have. Like, what's wrong with that? You know. But no, we have to have the fucking insurance for that. It's so that, you know, it's so that the insure, you know, it's more money for the big insurance companies. You know. Or we can be like Soviet Russia and fucking everyone has to work, but then everyone gets whatever they want too. No rich people, but no poor people either. You know, and be like that, you won't like it. Imagine if BARF actually had to go out and do like a really, really hard labor job. Imagine that. Imagine she had to go out and get like a factory job. You know? Instead of her sitting on her ass, on her big apple ass, and wringing people out for a living. What'd you say that one day? We work hard to play hard. Oh, I'm sure. We work hard so we can play hard. What does that even mean? You don't even work hard. You press fucking buttons, okay? Okay. I don't think you ever worked a fucking good job in your life. You know? You worked at a fucking gas station. And you quit that because, oh, I'm so scared because this mental patient that got kicked out of a mental institution because he is so crazy that he actually gets kicked out of a mental institution, is outside my gas station. He got kicked out of a mental. Who the fuck gets kicked out of a mental institution? You know, I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy that is so fucking tough and is so fucking violent that I just get kicked out of jail. Has that ever happened? Oh, sorry. You're too fucking violent for fucking jail. We gotta kick you out. Oh, please don't kick me the fuck out of jail. Oh. This could be another rant for another day. But she quit her job at a fucking gas station because some fucking mental patient, I guess. I can't even say it with a straight face. A mental patient got kicked out of a mental institution for being too crazy, I guess. Okay. And now he's going after her. Okay. Now, imagine it was like, okay, you're in jail, okay? A mental institution is kind of like a jail, okay? Don't get me wrong, it is kind of like a jail. Okay? It might be a little worse than a jail. Because, at least with a jail, you do your time, and when that day comes, you're out. They release you. What? See, that's the thing that people don't get. Oh, I'm just gonna, like, if I go to jail, I'm just gonna do my time at a mental institution. Well, okay. But the thing is that when you do that, they don't actually, you don't actually do time anymore. What it is you stay at that mental institution until they feel that you're better. At least with jail, you can sit there and be like, okay, I got a year and like 20 days to go here. In a mental institution, it could be decades, you know, because you're so crazy. It's like they need to get you better, you know. So now they're kicking people out of a mental institution for being too crazy. I actually just thought of this too. I'm like back then I was like, yeah, whatever. But now I'm actually thinking into it. It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. This guy got kicked out of a mental institution. Like, who does that? Who gets kicked out? Who actually gets kicked out of a mental institution? Who gets kicked out of a jail? Like, oh no. You're a little too violent in jail, you know? So you have to leave. You know? There are people in there for you know, pedophilia. There are people in there for molesting children, killing children, you know, killing people, serial killers, you know? And imagine if one of these serial killers in jail just starts serial killing people in the jail, and the only response to this is, Mr. Serial Killer, you can't be doing this in jail. We're going to have to kick you out of jail. You're going to have to go, we're kicking you out. You know, you have to go wherever you want to go, but you can't stay in this jail. You know? People are in fucking mental institutions because they think that they're God. Isn't that kind of stupid? People think that they're God and they get locked up in a mental institution. Well, Jesus thought he was God. Why is that? Why isn't that not so, you know, hard to fathom, you know? I don't know. You know, Mary the Virgin, you know, gets pregnant. Like, what the fuck is this? Fucking Scooby-Doo or something? What does that even mean, what I just said? So Mary the Virgin gets pregnant, has Jesus, and 3 random dudes show up with gifts. Okay. Okay. You know, one of those guys gotta be the father, I guess. I'm probably going to hell for that one. And you're all going with me. If I'm going down, you're all going down. Your soul is gonna burn for eternity in hell. And what does that even mean? Your soul is gonna burn for eternity in hell. Like, think about that for a second. Is a soul flammable like that? Like, and wouldn't it just be like ashes? If it was so hot, wouldn't it just be ashes? So what? when I go to hell, my soul is just gonna start on fire. And it's just gonna keep on, like, it's just gonna, like, just eternally burn. I don't get it. And what would happen if hell was packed? You know? I don't really get it. Like, if so many people went to hell, okay, and it just packed asshole to belly button in hell, you know, like, what would happen? Do I just do we just pack everybody into hell like sardines or something? Or is it like when you die? See, I think it's like when you die, you go to your own private hell. Like, it might not be burning for eternity, but like, let's just say that there is an afterlife, and let's just say there is for a fact an afterlife. I would think that it would be more like, it's not, hell isn't just like a place, but maybe like a state, I guess. Not a state like a U.S. state, but hell is just like everybody has their own hell, I guess. And it's like, it's just based on what, maybe like what you fear, or maybe like something that haunts you for the rest of your life. Like for example, like a child molester might, you know, go to hell, and in his hell, he would probably get raped by children. Oh, well, that might make him happy, but he'd probably get like just raped like repeatedly or something by big men. You know? Like, if he was like raping little girls or something, like in his hell, he would just get raped like for eternity. Like, just big fat dude coming in and raping him. He gets done, and another one just keeps going and going and going. I don't know. I don't really think, if there was something like that, I don't really think it's just gonna, but this big place where everyone that died is there, you know? I don't know. Because, like, if there's a hell, then there has to be a heaven, too. And it's like, someone good there, you know, like a big nerd that was good, you know, probably would go to heaven. And it'll probably be like all video games or something up there, you know. Probably be able to play all the latest video games, like, way before they're out, you know. I don't know. Sometimes I think about shit way too much. And this girl that I'm not seeing her or anything. I'm not dating her, not yet. We met up once. We went to Rock Burger. I don't know if I like weirded her out or anything, but it's like I asked her if she wants to hang out again, and she either just gives me this a weird answer or she just doesn't acknowledge it. And I'm like, oh, come on, you know. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, did I just weird this girl out? Okay. Let me tell you just a little something about her. She writes. Let me get up because this is funny, you know. And this is like the story of my life. Okay. So this girl, she writes like stories, okay? She writes these like stories, okay, that are what do you call it? They're fan fiction stories, but like some of them have to do with she writes like a lot of fan fiction about bands, okay? And she's into Burzum and Mayhem and all, and Dark Throne and all that. And she seems pretty cool, but the thing that I think that she wrote a story. She wrote a story about that involved Dead from Mayhem and Varg, okay, Varg Vikernes. You know, Varg, I stabbed Euronymous 23 times with a pocket knife in self-defense. Vikernes, okay, and she writes these gay fan fiction things. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about. I don't care about gay shit. It's cool to me, okay. But here's where it gets weird. In her story, Dead and Varg are gay for each other, okay? And the weird thing is that part of her story, Varg gets Dead pregnant. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I said that to her face. I'm like, what the fuck? How the fuck does that happen? I haven't really read any of her stories, so I don't know how it happens. And honestly, I really don't want to know. I guess I guess she's trying to explain it, and I really didn't get it. I guess there's a whole big thing in there where Dead takes this potion and drinks it, and it kind of turns him into a woman. Okay, whatever. I don't want to know. And I'm like, how does he have the kids? Because I guess he got pregnant by Varg with twins. Okay, and I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? How the fuck did that? How do you give birth? And she's like, well, he didn't really give birth. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, in true dead fashion, he took a knife and cut the babies out of his stomach like that. How did I not see that coming? How the fuck did I not see that coming? So, I don't know. But the thing is that the thing is that I weirded out a girl that writes stories about two men from a black metal band, okay, that have gay sex, and one of the men gets the other man pregnant. I'm too weird for that, apparently. She's also into wrestling, too. You never see many girls in wrestling. I don't even like wrestling. Like, I know some of the wrestlers, but it's like, I don't really follow it. Like, it's like ballet. What was it? I keep calling it a soap opera for men. It's just ballet with violence or something. But she writes fan fiction about wrestlers too. Gay fan fiction about, well, wrestling is kind of gay. Just guys with their crotches in other men's faces. Yeah, okay, they're pinning them to the ground. They're putting them in holds. But they're dudes with their crotches right inside their faces. And her favorite wrestlers are Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Like, what? And I guess she has fan fiction about those two. And supposedly one of those guys gets pregnant in that one. You know what? I want to read her stories again. I want to read her story. I want to go through her stories and read them, and then make a video review on these. I want to fucking do it. I want to make a video review on her stories. Okay, it's like a book report, except for it's a gay book report. It's an oral presentation. It's an oral book report. Oh, I'm sure. Oral report. Look at me. Look at the camera. Oral report. Oh. The fuck did I get myself into? Nah, she seems pretty cool anyway. I kind of want to do a video review of her stories. I kind of do. I'm gonna turn this off. Does anybody really want me to do? I'll do a fucking report. I'll do a fucking oral book report. like I was back in school, you know. I'm gonna do an oral report. Well, like an oral sex report or something. Alright. I'm done.